and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a different video. So I have posted about like crocheting and knitting and that kind of stuff, but one facet of my hobbies that I haven't posted about too much is reading. And this past weekend I went home to see some family members, and they live really close to a Half Price Books, and my family used to take me there all the time when I was younger. I've always really loved Half Price Books, and so today I'm going to share with you everything I got at Half Price Books. So let's get into it. This first one is probably the most exciting, and maybe I should wait till the end, but I'm going to show it now. So it is The World of Ice and Fire. So I really fell in love with the TV show Game of Thrones. I do have all the books. I do intend on reading them because I know that there's like a lot more lore and different things that, the TV show didn't get into. And I do think that the TV show took a few artistic detours that I don't agree with. So I'm really excited. This book it just has these beautiful illustrations and really goes more in depth about the world outside of like Westeros, because everything that happens in Game of Thrones, at least like that first show, because now they have House of the Dragon, but everything happens in like Westeros, but there's so much outside of that. And I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I was like, ooh, that looks fun. And then I saw that book at Half Price Books, and I was like, I have to have it. So now I do. It's definitely like a big coffee table book, but I think that it'll be like super fun. I'm a big fan of like fantasy and like really well developed fantasy worlds. So that's, I think, why I fell in love with like that world a lot. Alright, so now let's get into the smaller books. So, these two. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I know nothing about this book. My grandma told me that she read it and that she really liked it. It's a part of Reese's book club. I know I've like picked it up in different places before, like maybe at the library or at a Barnes & Noble, and I've like looked over it, but I haven't got it. I think it's some sort of mystery. But she was like, you're gonna read this. And I'm like, okay, I'll read it. I don't know. So, excited about that one. And then this one is called Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. And it's about this woman who... what's the word? This woman who, when she was in her early 20s, she met a man called Will, and they decided they were going to run away together. So she showed up, he didn't. And so now her life is like taking a turn, and it's not what she expected. And he like pops back into her life, and it seems like there's something sketchy, shady going on. And so it's about like their relationship and her finding out like, what did you do for 10 years? Why didn't you meet me at our spot? And all that stuff. And so it's been a while since a like fiction book like this has caught my eye, but I was like, that looks really fun. So I decided I need to read it, so I got it. This next book doesn't have the dust jacket, and I'm really sad about that because I thought the cover of this book was really cool, but it's Artemis by Andy Ware. He is also the author of The Martian. I haven't read that book, but I've read a couple chapters of this book. I read it at the library a couple years ago, and I was really interested in the book, but I always do this thing, and I know for a fact other people do it too. I check out too many books in the library, I read the first couple, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I get into like that last chunk of books that I checked out, and I'm like, oh, but like, what about this one on my shelf, or this new one that I bought? Like, I'm a mood reader, like sitting down and making a TBR. I'll read the first couple books, but then I'm going to get bored. And then I'm going to read whatever I want to read because I don't like the parameters that I set for myself. So I always wanted to come back to this book. I thought about checking it out from the library, but I was always kind of waiting for it to like pop up somewhere for me to purchase it. So there it is. These next couple are chunky. Big book. Anyone else have big book fear? I don't really, but sometimes. This is like the Dark Academia book that's been taking Bookstagram and Book Talk by storm. It's Babel by R.F. Kuang, I believe is how I've heard everyone say it. And this is it's based in 1828, and it's about linguistics students. So, I have watched a couple of like no spoiler reviews, and they said it was really good. So like I'm excited. I really like Dark Academia books. I am currently is a very loose term. I'm on page 2 of Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like reading this book, and I'm like 20 pages in. It's like, and then this last book is The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. And I've read most of The Secret History. If you've read that book, you know that it's like split into basically like 2 sections. And I got up to the first section, and then I was like, it just like, I didn't know where the book was going, and I want to finish it eventually. I know I don't have much of it left, because I was listening to the audiobook, but I need like a good long like car drive for something like that, and I haven't had a lot of those in a long time. Now that I live with my partner, he likes to drive, and I don't know, I used to like drive alone everywhere, and then I could listen to audiobooks, but I don't have that anymore as much, I guess. But so The Little Friend, this one really, I didn't even know that she had other books besides The Goldfinch and The Secret History. That's really ignorant of me to think, but you know, when someone's got 2 super popular books, I didn't expect to see, you know, another one. And I know, what's the word? What are the words I am looking for? I don't know. I thought this one was really interesting. It's set in a small Mississippi town, and there was a murder when the main character was a little girl, and her brother got murdered, and it was never solved. And so it's kind of her trying to solve the murder when she's, I think, 12. I'll just read you this final little like snippet from the inside dust jacket here. It says, a revelation of familial longing and sorrow, The Little Friend explores crime and punishment, as well as the hidden complications and consequences that hinder the pursuit of truth and justice. A novel of breathtaking ambition and power, it is rich in moral paradox, insights into human frailty, and storytelling brilliance. So, I don't know. I just kind of want to see what this one's about. Like I said, I never finished The Secret History, even though I did enjoy what I have read of it, and I haven't read The Goldfinch yet. I do have it. I really like Dark Academia books. I think I have like a weird lust for academia. Anything that's like set in a school. Like I loved Harry Potter. I just want to like it's a form of escapism. You know, some people really like the books that are set at the beach, where like they can just escape into that sort of recess of their mind. I've always been someone who really likes school and academia. It's like that first child syndrome, oldest daughter syndrome, where you just want academic validation. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's everything I got at Half Price Books. My grandma did get me a couple of DVDs for me and my partner to watch too. It was Airplanes, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Love Actually. And so I'm excited whenever him and I have a movie night again. We'll probably watch those. We're currently watching The Umbrella Academy though. And I'm like just mad that I never knew that this show existed. But I'm also the kind of person that watches the same shows over and over and over again. I'm watching BoJack Horseman for the 3rd time. And I just can't seem to stop watching it. It's just so good. Sorry, I am now rambling. So thank you for listening to my ramble. I hope you enjoyed this small little book haul. I'm really excited to get reading. I think the first one I'll probably do is read is Meet Me by the Lake. But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, like for engagement. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.